I'm the best, I'm the best. And I got it, and I got it. Get my way up, and I go, and I go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, I'm the best. And I got it, and I got it. Get my way up, and I go, and I go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold.
Yeah, send the screen up, stream up. Yeah.
I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been in prison. No more remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. What you talking that funky, get about my face. Wearing that monkey, not that, that might give you life advice. Get some money, get some money, get some money, get some money, get some money.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They go play action here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. The slot man in motion right. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So 2 incompletions have led him to an early 3rd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Trucks over him. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. That's a nice explosive play there, and this defense told us we have to have our eyes right on their RPO sets, and they did not have their eyes right.
I love that term, eyes right, meaning they have to be in the proper place and read your keys. And the smart thinking guy running an offense can see when you break down on that, and he took full advantage of it.
Well, the run on 1st down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. They'll try the air now with Herbert. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown Dolphins. A great play there. His 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins get the upper hand as they're on the board 1st here this afternoon. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest, I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down, but they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
Yeah, that decision paid off indeed. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Patriots at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
Here's 2nd and 8. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. When tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Follow up a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. The Pats at the line ready to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. They'll set up to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Herbert. To the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to the right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Herbert wants to throw it on 3rd and 1. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. This is caught inside the 15. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. Here's Herbert. Steps away to his left. Touchdown! A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Dolphins have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this
The ball comes out. And the Dolphins have got it. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And he's got his man out of the slot, complete. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that's going to make it 4th down. And his kick here is good. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play in a quick strike.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. On third down, he'll drop to throw. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Herbert being chased out left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Herbert on third down now. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Dolphins are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it. Try and create some space, some room. And it went awry, didn't it?
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Herbert off of play action. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case,
puts it on the carpet. It's out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's not exactly round and round we go, but I'm looking at the poor defenses. All right, back-to-back possessions. The ball's turned over.
Back-to-back plays.
I mean, just that quickly, and you think you're going to the bench to get a little break, and all of a sudden you're hearing sudden change, get back out there, grabbing your helmets and running back out on the field. I don't think it's going to affect them much now, but if this keeps up, you're going to have 2 very angry defenses on the offense.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw here, Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the fourth quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
Hands it off out of the gun. And they'll get him down right around the 16. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. And this is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. Well, after that last sequence, they're sitting pretty comfortably. They force the fumble, get the field goal, and expand on that lead here in the second half.
And don't expect them to rest on their laurels after that kick either. They'll keep their effort up until the final whistle. They don't consider any lead safe.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And oh, it'll be intercepted. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. They'll try and run for it. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, That's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Herbert. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Patriots take over. New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be...
And my goodness, another interception. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
3rd and long. It's Herbert. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 51 yards. And the Dolphins look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. After the turnover, here's Herbert. That is caught at the 7. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great effort there. His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins continue to pour it on here in the fourth. Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Now a play fake here on first down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Dolphins are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, it hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. 64 yards.
And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
The Pats at the line, ready to go.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
New England on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 10. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Going for the deep ball. And now here is another interception.
And the Dolphins are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, that means talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
They're going to look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete.
And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Dolphins are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the deep...
Down the numbers. There he goes. The 40. Past the 20. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line.
178 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those maps.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the 4th, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And some room to run now.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense through the shutout, Adam. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, pump a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Dolphins, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for New England, they'll fall to 1-2, and they will be at home next week.